Heroic Soul Hunters. Soul Hunters consist of a repeating phase where all bosses are present and 3 intermissions featuring each of the bosses. On pull, 2 purple soaks will be underground. The people who soak this will get the soak debuff. This is the most important mechanic on the fight. As the fight goes on, puddles will spawn on the ground. These can be soaked by people with the debuff. If you have the debuff marked by a crystal above your head, go soak the puddles. As you reach high stacks of the debuff, you will need to get dispelled by a healer. This will transfer the debuff to another nearby player. Second mechanic of this phase is the hunt. One of the bosses will target a player, spawning a green fire lane between the boss and the target. The target will need to move out, extending the lane so more people can fit within it. People will then need to run in and soak it, though do be careful standing too close as you deal proximity damage in a small area around you. This is marked by a green circle beneath your feet. Beware the tank mechanics in this phase. One of the bosses will do an I-beam which does a lot of damage to anybody caught in its path. The tanks will usually point this towards the sides of the arena, but look out for the tank position and don't stack on the tanks. The other tank mechanic is Fracture. 2 green souls will spawn, which will need to be soaked by somebody else than the tanks. Careful double soaking these as they do damage. Other mechanics include a lot of don't stand in the ground effect. The first intermission will have Adderus stand in the middle of the room and slowly sucking players in. Orbs will spawn around the room and we need to soak them. Though do be careful as the orbs leaves a dot on you, so care not to soak more than 2 orbs before letting the dot fall off. The second intermission will have Valorant stand in the middle of the room and spawn lines of random raid members. The raid will spread out in the arena to try and minimize the amount of overlap. The best way to move is along your line so people can dodge around you without you moving the line. Third intermission I sadly don't have footage from. The last boss will jump to random positions in the arena and cast a frontal cone. Run along the edges and use any kind of movement to avoid taking too much damage from the frontal. During these intermissions, the other 2 bosses will be flying above the arena, so if you stand in certain spots as ranged, you can still attack them. As a final note, once the bosses starts to die, they turn into a crystal which pulses raid-wide damage. This damage increases with each pulse, so we will have to kill the bosses around the same time in order to minimize the amount of damage we take or potentially wipe to this damage. The bosses don't share HP, so keep an eye on their HP as the fight goes on, especially after intermission, and try to even it out so they die around the same time.